So I am so upset right now. I just spent 51 minutes of my time recording a downloaded message that I got and tried to be as careful as possible so that, I avoided anything that YouTube would want to delete or not want to post this video for. But I don't know what happened. My sound just happened to not be there. Anyways, because I don't want to spend another 51 minutes doing this recording, I am going to have to fast track this message, and I'm so sorry, but I'm going to try to get out the most important information. So this is for someone who has been doing some investigation work and really needing answers as to a situation that happened to them in 2022. Just know that this is a generational bloodline thing. Is that a pimple? Oh my gosh. It is. Oh, embarrassing. Anyways, this is a generational bloodline thing. So what you need to know is that both sides of your grandparents are Masons. One is a 33rd, one is a 54, and then the grandmothers are Eastern Stars. One of your grandparents is a seer, okay? They can foresee into the future, and they foresaw what you were going to be and the abilities that you were going to have. The problem with that is you were going to be somebody that was to be a truth speaker, and in that event you were going to end up outing what it is this society, this group has been doing to people, okay? And they didn't want that, because obviously they're part of that. Now your bloodline is so strong because both sides have a heritage and a culture from the same country, okay? And same practices. So but because you came at a pivotal point when both your parents decided to make changes about themselves to improve and go down the right and honest path, you became the one that they were to be the whistleblower, the truth speaker, okay? Now, fast forwarding, they were told that your abilities were going to come at a certain age, and instead of having to sacrifice you, there was a moment that an event happened where your soul was signed over, okay? And only one parent knew about this, not the other. When the other parent found out, they immediately moved you out of the state and away from the family to keep you safe, okay? They thought that their spouse, your other parent, was on board with this deal and wanted to keep you safe as well. In the meantime, their parent was directed by their parent to make sure that you stayed sick and make sure that you encountered turbulences throughout life and chaos, to keep you out of coming into alignment with yourself and discovering who you are, okay? So that's what this parent did. Fast forward to you coming to a certain age, your one parent that moved you out of state decided that because you were displaying certain types of curiosities and investigating certain things during this age, that they should just tell you who you are. And the other parent was able to get them to hold off on coming forward for a while, but then they really started to push for it. And reason being is because I believe you were starting to have your own family at this point. And so this parent called your grandparent, and your grandparent instructed your parent to silence the other parent. When your parent was having difficulty following through with this, your grandparent set the situation up for it to happen. Now, moving forward, your grandparent directed your now surviving parent. The goal was to separate you from your child, because they needed to make sure that you didn't awaken to your gifts and you didn't then prompt your child to do the same thing. So that is what this parent did. They separated you from your child. Something happened. I believe your intuition and things started to kick in, and you realized that something was very wrong and toxic here. So you separated yourself from that parent. That parent kept an eye on you as much as possible, but didn't worry too much, because they ensured that you were already steadily on the path where your life was going to be poor and, hardship after hardship and chaotic because of the type of partners that you were choosing. Your parent then discovered that you were starting to have more kids, okay? And so this parent reached out to the parent of your partner and offered a deal. And this parent agreed because of the compensation that was being offered. And your parent directed this parent on how to separate the relationship, okay? And they were successful. The next goal was to separate you from the next set of kids that you had, right? But the first child that they separated you from came back. And so now there's a real problem. So I believe you have a sibling that they sent in, and they told this sibling, because this sibling knew that they were sick, they were going to be dying. They told this sibling that if they were successful at helping separate you from your kids, that they would be compensated and be given excuse me, does not want me to speak, and be given a new bill of health, okay? This separation between you and your kids had to get held off because your grandparent knew that some things were starting to happen, and she had to pass down this dark demonic entity that is within your family that has been for centuries and gets initiated to the next generation each time. The person that they chose to hand this entity down to was your parent, okay? once this entity was handed down to your parent, that is when your parent decided to go full throttle on what they had to do to you. They directed the grandparent of your kids to do certain things, dismantling your reputation, making sure that their kid and you did not have any communication. They needed to make sure you did not have any support, anyone to rely on. Excuse me. So the timing between the grandparents getting the grandkids and your parents sending in this person to really do some damage to you was not aligning. They weren't able to get it rolling fast enough, and so this person came in that was assigned to do this damage to you before the kids could be removed, okay? Your parent approached the Masons as their lineage, as a part of it, and told them who you were and what their plan was and that they needed help getting it completed. Oh my God. The Masons backdoored your parent. They sent in someone and they directed them to dismantle you, to use mind control on you, to poison you, and to really make sure that you were mentally unstable, okay? And under their control, and that was so that they could siphon or use you for your abilities, right? Your parent was needing to shell out cash to the other grandparent. The Masons were needing to shell out cash to the hitman. Because the alignment of taking your kids and the hitman showing up didn't happen in unison like it was supposed to, your children were able to draw you away from that man for a while, and you fled. The problem is you fled to your parent. So your parent sold you to another Masonic member that is in sex trafficking. That hitman found out where you were. My throat is going crazy. That hitman found out where you were. And he came and pretty much brought you back to wherever he was. He was not going to lose the deal he made, especially not to another Masonic member. The Masons gave him a house to take you to, and the entire block knew who you were and what you were there for and what he was to do to you, okay? The Masons were directing him to do certain stuff, and then you had the grandmother on your kids' side doing voodoo and sending things to him that way. This man was getting attacked from both sides, and he started to lose it mentally. He did attempt to kill you several times, and the thing is you did not die. And he saw things during those events, not human beings, okay? And things that really spooked him. And so he started to draw back. The problem here is he was on a time limit. He had the Masons up his ass. Okay. And then he had the devil or entity that the other grandmother was sending towards him. And so they finally told him to just bring you to their ritual area, in which he agreed. Okay. During that event, on the way there, he did everything he could to draw attention to himself, because in his mind, if he could get the police to catch him, that would save him from the devil and the Masons, okay? Right now, you have the grandmother who has your children. You have the Masons who want you produced to them and who are spying on you. And then you have your mother, it's your mother. You have your mother who has this generational entity, and she is getting sick because she wasn't able to accomplish the mission with making sure you didn't align on your path. And so now she has to find somebody else to give this entity to before she passes. Unfortunately, your oldest kid and another family member of yours are in competition for that inheritance. One of the family members is acting like they don't want it, but that they are training your kid to be strong enough to take it on. But really what they're doing is sending spiritual attack after spiritual attack to her, so that she's unstable, so that they will be the one to end with it anyways. Reason being is because they want their kids to have that power that entity brings. That entity knows that if you don't die, then it's going to be abolished from its existence within your lineage. The Masons know that if you don't die, the secrets will come out. And the grandmother knows that if you don't die, the secrets of her involvement and what she's doing to the grandchildren and how she made her child sick for payment will come out. You have several players here that are looking at doing a long time behind bars, and you have several murders that have taken place, okay? I'm being told murders from 2009 to current. The reason why you didn't die when they poisoned you is because your parent has been poisoning you your whole life. And they did do MK Ultra on you, and they don't understand why you were able to appear to the person doing it that it was working, but when it was all said and done, there was no control. They can't figure it out. The hitman is not in jail. Okay? They have pulled some strings. He's not in jail. That hitman is looking for you. And they want that hitman to find out if you're speaking on anything, if you remember anything, and exactly what abilities have you been working with, and how good have you gotten with it. I'll save the last half of that for another video because I still need to tap in to get some more information on what's going on. But just know that this is a lineage and a generational thing. You're on a Masonic bloodline, okay? Your family on your mother's side has been harboring a entity for centuries, and it gets passed down to the next one that has either just as dark of an energy as that entity or abilities that entity wants. And this could have been why they had so many kids, is because they were waiting until they birthed the right one to pass that entity down to. I don't know. I know that you have been resting and trying to heal and investigate and get everything together for yourself, so this video is a little bit of confirmation from what you've already been feeling. But you still need to protect yourself and stay low-key because they're still hunting for you. Okay? So yeah, I will work on getting more downloads, more clarification on that, and then I'll post another video. Have a good day.